Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the World Battle Entertainment Season 3, Week 1 Heat of the Week. My name is XchrisKobain, and in this series, I will be taking you through some of the best and some of the coolest sets run by our awesome WBE coaches. So in case you're not aware of what this kind of video is going to be like, what this series is going to be, this is going to be showcasing unique, interesting, or what otherwise cool sets run by coaches, stuff that you would typically not see in a regular Smogon style or VGC style battle. Stuff that is done. The reason that Draft League is so cool, the sets are so unique, so interesting all the time, because you got a game playing constantly for what the opponent's doing, what the opponent's bringing, what they've got, that it leads to some pretty cool stuff. And this series is simply just to highlight that. So to start things off, I actually want to apologize to you guys a little bit. This week's is going to be a little rougher than I'd like it to be. I had a really busy weekend, and I didn't really have a chance to watch all of the battles that went on this week, which I would like to do in the future. So instead, this week we're running on coach submissions specifically. In the future, I plan on picking them myself along with help from the coaches based off of what I see and what does what. But this week, since I didn't have time to go through all of it, it's just going to be what coaches themselves submit to me. So keep in mind for this week, if the coach, if your favorite Pokemon, your favorite set this week did not make it, it's likely because the coach just didn't happen to submit it for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't get around to it, or they didn't even know they had to do it right now. And to clarify, this series is more going to focus on the unique sets. I know a lot of times you'll see it go through where it's more about what Pokemon did the most work, etc. But this series, we're gonna try to stick to Pokemon that had interesting, unique sets. It won't work that way all the time, depending on how things go. But I'm gonna do my best to make it work that way. So, without further ado, let's jump into Week 1 this week. Starting off with the Maryland TORTERRAPINS and Coach Under the Radar rocking the MESPRIT this week. And this MESPRIT actually super sick, and there's a reason I specifically wanted to highlight this one. So this MESPRIT's running Levitate, 172 HP, 196 special attack, and 140 speed. He told me he was just running enough bulk to just tank things in general. It wasn't like super duper specific. It was just bulk to keep the survivability up. Running that Brave nature, which is plus attack minus speed. And then he's running Psychic, Psyshock, and Sleep Talk. So the reason I wanted to highlight this Pokemon was because of that moveset. You will notice that it is 3 moves. Not something you see very often, but it's something that I've done in the past in Draft Leagues and that I've seen in the past in Draft Leagues. And this is very specific, and it's very, very important. So his MESPRIT here, oh, he was choice specs, by the way. I forgot to say that. The point of this was to be a Spore switch-in against a Moongus. So the reasoning would be he switch-ins, eats a Spore, hits that choice spec Sleep Talk, which automatically forces itself into either Psychic or Psyshock, which is super, super awesome. No fourth move to get in the way, no like rest or anything like that. His opponent had no dark moves, or excuse me, no dark Pokemon to speak of, so there was no reason not to be able to spam that Psychic stab, and no matter what, Sleep Talk guaranteed to hit it every time it goes to sleep. Unfortunately, MESPRIT, the reason MESPRIT's so low, he's 6, we're doing 6 Pokemon a week. The reason he's number 6 this week for us is simply just because he got frozen really early by a Rhyperior or Ice Punch and didn't get to do too much, but I love the set enough. This thing actually ended up securing 1 kill on an Electros, and did heavy chunk damage to Audino a couple times, who was able to heal it off with stuff such as Wish, obviously. So it kept it a little limited, especially at freeze. If it wasn't for the freeze, this MESPRIT would have done a lot more, but I love the idea of a 3-move set, and I wanted to highlight that since it was in here so early, Week 1. So well done to Under the Radar, super sick. I hope to see more stuff like this in the future. This is what I'm talking about, super unique. You never see this in a regular battle, but super, super good. Next up, this for Week 1, jumping into number 5 here, we are moving on to the South Texas SABLEYES and Coach in Vivid Color, running himself a Mew. So the Mew this week was running Munium Z. Now, in its own right, this set specifically isn't super heat, and I'm aware of that, and he said that to me himself as well. And that's why we're putting it at number 5. It's a little low. But this thing's running synchronized, obviously. Look at all those EVs. 252 HP, 100 defense, 52 special attack, 4 speed, 100, 4 special defense, excuse me, 100 speed. Just all over the place with that bold nature. Psychic Earth Power, Roost, and Nasty Plot. The Earth Power was built to hit the Skun Tank and the Dub Blade on his opponent's side to ensure that anything that was able to stop his Psychic Stab wasn't going to kick in. And Mew put in just a bunch of work. It murdered an X-Blob with Genesis Supernova, which is obviously his specific Z move, Munium Z. Set up that Psychic Terrain. The Psychic Terrain did a great job of walling off Shadow Sneak from Blade or Sucker Punch from Skun Tank. If it was running that, it looked like a special variant in the battle. But it did kill the X-Blob. It did kill the Dub Blade, who could not Shadow Sneak. One-shot that after a Nasty Plot with Earth Power. And then it hit Swampert for like 95%, forced the Swampert's Roar. The Roar put him into a Mega Sharpedo, who killed the Swampert, so really the Mew was responsible for that as well. And at the very end of the match, he secured the win for Vivid by 1v1ing Mega Medicham. Mega Medicham has very, very few responses in this video game, but Mew is one of them, especially one with all this bulk, that max HP, all that defense, and then of course the bold nature as well, all making sure he won that fight no problem. He was EV, he said, to eat any 2 hits from Mega Medicham very, very well, and the terrain, as I said, stops the Blade from revenging anybody with Shadow Sneak, and is running the coverage to be able to fight Nexus with his entire team. So good stuff from Vivid here, and he ended up getting the win in large part thanks to this Mew set. Of course, Mew can learn literally everything, so I look forward to seeing what kind of shenanigans he gets up to with the I almost said Sableye, with the Mew here in future weeks. Jumping into number 3, we've got Mewtwo fan Nate and his boy CLOYSTER. Now, shout out to Mewtwo fan Nate, because his entire team was super heat. He ran a lot of cool stuff. He gave me his entire pace bin, and his team was actually really, really sick. So I had a lot of different stuff to go with, but I had to go with the CLOYSTER just by rule. So CLOYSTER here is obviously skill link, as he always is one to be. He's running at 252 HP with the 12 special attack for the Surf and the 244 speed. But what we're most focused on in this is his item, which is going to be, I hope I pronounce it right, I think it's called a Blueberry. I've never actually seen it or used it myself, but he's running a Blueberry. I literally don't even know what it does, but that's not important. He's running Naive, and he's running Shell Smash, Icicle Spear, Surf, and Natural Gift. So Natural Gift is always based off the berry that you're holding, and depending on what berry you are holding, it changes the power and the typing of Natural Gift itself. And in this case, if I'm not mistaken, it transforms a Natural Gift into an electric type attack. So the reason that he did that was that his opponent was running the all-powerful Tail Glow spamming Manaphy, and Natural Gift gave him an out after Shell Smash to stop Manaphy from walling him, to set himself up with a sweep. It's a brilliant set, brilliantly done. He Shell Smashed in front of his Steelix and then killed it, but unfortunately his opponent made a really, really risky but good play. He switched into Manaphy and then immediately pivoted Manaphy out into a Alolan Muck. The Alolan Muck ate the Natural Gift and died to that. Natural Gift, of course, is a one-off move. You can't use it twice in one match because the berry gets consumed. You don't have it anymore. So after that, he wasn't able to kill the Manaphy anymore and ended up dying to it, which is why he's lower on the list than he otherwise. Like, literally, if he swept or if he killed the Manaphy at all, probably would have put him number 1. But he, thanks to the good play from his opponent, didn't do as much work as it could have done. But still, super sick sec, had to be featured. Nate also ran a mixed Tailwind Dry, which is super cool. And he also was running a workup Baton Pass Sylveon, which did a little bit of work as well. So overall, his team was really cool. So I wanted to pick one from his team, and I figured this was the best. Natural Gift is too sick not to feature in it. If you put Natural Gift on a Pokemon and it does anything at all, there's a good chance you're getting into this video just because of how cool I think that move is. Jumping into the number 3 spot, the better half, if you will, of the week 1. We got the San Diego CHIMCHARGERS and Coach Lord Envy and his regular ROTOM, the best of all ROTOMs. Don't make a mistake. He's always the best one. And he is running the Eapapa Berry. I know the item's not on there, but the Eapapa Berry is what he's running. Of course, Levitate, as he always is. 172 HP, 244 special defense, 92 speed, Calm Nature, Volt Switch, Hex, Thunder Wave, Defog. Literally didn't even know that ROTOM got Defog. I've done competitive battling for years. Did not even know he got that. I don't know if that's like a new thing with Sun and Moon or what, but Defog, super, super sick. And this guy put in immense work. First of all, he walls Cresselia. The Cresselia kept spamming Charge Beam. He was walling it. He Thunder Waved it. He hexed it. It got heal belled by Diancie. He just kept constant pressure. He defogged rocks off the field multiple times, which helped Victini and a Sash Dug trio come in and do work without risk of those hazards hitting him. There near the end, he got burned by a lava plume from a Torque Hole near the very end of the match. He ate an Ice Beam from Cresselia with like 12 health. The Eapapa Berry healed him. He paralyzed the Cresselia, and then on a phenomenal, maybe the best play of the matches I've seen, he predicted Cresselia to switch out and Thunder Waved a second turn in a row and hit Mega Pidgeot with it, getting that back-to-back paralysis, which easily set up the win for MB. ROTOM ended up fainting to Torque Hole, to a Lava Plume in the end, after Thunder Waving multiple Pokemon and chunking Pidgeot with Volt Switch, but he put in so much work, kept the hazards off the field till he was gone. Super, super well done. ROTOM, regular ROTOM specifically, is so underrated. He's such a good Pokemon, and a lot of people don't give him a lot of credit because of all the forms, of course. Everyone just talks about ROTOM Wash and ROTOM Heat and all those guys, but this guy's super good, so I'm absolutely thrilled to see that regular ROTOM put in so much work. Week 1, well done, MV. Keep that up. Make this guy look as good as he is. Number 2, and one that I saw a lot of people talking about this week on Twitter and in the WBE Discord. It's my boy Galactic Elliot and his Scolipede. I saw so many people talking about this set, and you know it had to be featured. So Elliot's running Black Sludge Scolipede here, him and his Chicago CUBCHOOS. Of course, it is speed boost, it is max speed, max HP, and 4 defense with that naive nature, running spikes and toxic spikes. Unfortunately, he didn't get to use either of those at all. But he's running Mega Horn, and then what matters most, he's running Hidden Power Fire. Now, Scolipede really only did that one thing the whole match, if we're being real. If you watch the match, Scolipede really only did that one thing. He Hidden Power Fired Kartana and killed it. And that is really all he needed to do, because Kartana was really putting a lot of pressure on Elliot's team. He had to get rid of it. And that unexpected Hidden Power Fire from Scolipede took out the Kartana and basically won him the game. He chunked Mamoswine with Mega Horn after killing the Kartana. Ended up dying to Stone Edge from Mamoswine, but Mamoswine was choice locked. So get this, Mamoswine is forced to choice lock himself into Stone Edge. So Elliot switches in Sand Slash, who's then able to freely Rapid Spin, which removes hazards, and then finishes the game with his Hoopa Unbound, which at the end of the match had less than 10% HP when it won, which means that Rocks would have killed it. So literally, by proxy of all that stuff, forcing the Mamoswine to lock itself is also something Scolipede was able to do to ensure Elliot the win, so that the spin could go off and so that Hoopa Unbound could get the clean. But if it was not for Scolipede, Hoopa Unbound was not getting past that Kartana. It just wouldn't have been able to do it. Not fast enough anyway, and in large part to Scolipede's super sick Hidden Power Fire. Well done, Elliot. He gets the win week 1. And it is a much-deserved one. So that brings us to our final Pokemon this week. Our week 1, the most heat set. To me, of course, this is all subjective. But for me, it had to go to one Pokemon. And that one Pokemon this week was DOUSIon. Wolfie and his MILWAUKEE BEWEARS running this DOUSIon. I have a soft spot for unevolved or non-fully evolved Pokemon who put in a bunch of work in a draft league format, because it's filled with so many strong Pokemon. So when something like DOUSION's able to come in and put in work like the way DOUSION put in work, it's gotta make the list, not to mention the fact what it actually did. So this DOUSION is, of course, as it always will be, I'm sure every time he runs it, it was Regenerator with the Eviolite. 252 HP, 236 defense, and 20 special defense. Bold, Psychic, Reflect, Energy Ball, and Hidden Power Fire. He's running Hidden Power Fire for the Escavalier, which wasn't even brought to the match. But all that really matters here is Psychic and Reflect, because this DOUSION absolutely, I think DOUSION spelled wrong, isn't it? I just realized that. I didn't make this slide. This DOUSION absolutely stuffed a Z move using sub Swords Dance Terrakion essentially on his own. A little back control, but essentially on his own. He was able to switch in, set Reflect, break sub, and switch out his extra 8 a +4 Continental Crush. But DOUSION was key in completely wasting Substitute, completely wasting Swords Dance, and on the switch, completely wasting the Z move. And that was huge. And at the end of the day, what matters even more than that is that this DOUSION's Reflect was able to stop his Mega Blastoise from dying to a Hippowdon Stone Edge. Blastoise survived with literally 10 HP, survived the Stone Edge with 10 HP, and then because of that, because that Reflect saved his life with 10 health, that Blastoise casually went on to kill Snorlax with Aura Sphere, Terrakion and Swoobat with Aqua Jet, and Hippowdon with Scald, all with that 10 health. 4 kills for the Blastoise. So obviously a huge shout out to Blastoise in this one for the #1. But none of that happens if it's not for DOUSION, if it's not for that Reflect saving him, if it's not for the fact that he was able to wall and chunk the Terrakion low enough to become Aqua Jet range from the Blastoise. He was the catalyst. He set it all up. And at the end of the day, Wolfie gets the win. It was a really good match. And DOUSION came in clutch multiple times, stopping that Terrakion. Eevee, he said to take a Stone Edge and a Z Stone Edge through Reflect, which is fair enough, which is impressive when you really think about it. Of course, Regenerator, he switches in and out and keeps healing without the need of having a move such as Recover. I couldn't even think of the name for a second. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for week 1. I know that there's going to be a lot of stuff that I missed in this week. So if there's any other sets that you saw personally as the fans that you thought was really cool, whether it was because it did a lot of work or because it was heat and I wasn't able to see it, remember, again, it was submissions from the coaches this week. I didn't get to watch all the matches myself. But any other cool sets that I missed or did not make this list, please feel free to post them in the comments. I'd love to look at it, love to see them. And in the future, in the next week's coming, I will hopefully be able to watch all the matches and come up with a more complete list, I'll say. This list was good, but a more complete list featuring everything, because I know that there's some heat sets out there that I just didn't get to see because they weren't submitted to me this week. So next week and the weeks from there on out, it's not going to happen. We're going to see them all, okay? But I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys enjoyed week 1 of World Battle Entertainment and the Heat of the Week video. I hope you guys look forward to this video every week. I'll be releasing this every Tuesday, hopefully, if all goes well. And we will be highlighting all the coolest sets from the matches, from the coaches, all their brilliant sets that they come up with to help win them the games. We're going to get them. We're going to highlight them. They're going to be awesome, all right? Appreciate you guys watching, though. And I will see you guys for week 2, Heat of the Week, all right? All right, peace, guys.